So, hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Dauntless investigation. Um, so, does anyone want to recap roughly what happened?
So we all arrived in some secret location
Yep,
as new recruits to the agency or the
yep.
Agency of Scientific Investigation or something.
Uh, Agency of Scientific Curiosity.
That's the badger.
Now, in your defence, I have referred to it as several different things, but because I was still deciding what the name was. But ASC or ASK is what
They just simply never ever reveal accurately what it is called, just to keep it mysterious.
Yeah, that's how secret they are.
Yeah, it's a secret that they haven't even decided on a name. We were supposed to have a training mission, but as it turned out, a brand new ship had gone out on a field test. I can't remember what the turn of phrase was.
Shakedown run.
Shakedown run, yeah.
Yep.
And had gone missing somewhere in the north. In the North Atlantic.
Yep.
So instead of our regular training mission, our what do you call it, entrance exam, as it were, is go and find the ship, find out what happened to it, and get back with the information.
Yes, indeedy.
And we got a helicopter over the North Atlantic in the lashing rain and the howling wind, and got there, and everything was fine, and we all went home.
Yes, except for maybe one thing.
So there is some kind of energy being on board which is capable variously of matter phasing and manipulation, creating extreme high and extreme low temperatures, given that it cremated and froze a bunch of people. It also capable of electrical manipulation, because it caused a glass display monitor to explode into someone. And most pleasantly of all, it fused a bunch of people into the control panels of the bridge.
Yes.
We were going through the ship place by place. There was a display case with some rocks. The rocks having escaped, as it were, or at least one of them having escaped. The others were there, and we kept seeing something moving in the corners of our eyes in the darkness. Oh, sorry. And we as we were making our way through the ship, we found the compass needle was pointing down towards the classified section, which is non-threatening in the extreme and has nothing bad in it.
Exactly.
And then we found out all powered devices were draining really slowly. The batteries were draining really slowly.
Yep.
So we went to plug the captain's laptop. We took the hard drive out, put it in the enclosure. Went to take the captain's laptop to get the information off it. Made ourselves a budget Faraday cage, or at least insulated layer, out of a couple of life rafts. And we left off having just seen a child's legs. See, when you said a child's legs, what I thought you meant was like Looney Tunes style. They were standing up, and we could see them on the floor, standing on the floor, and there was just nothing from the knees up. Like they'd held a bomb in Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that would be amazing. But
wouldn't that be much more whimsical and pleasant?
Yeah, exactly. But that is not the adventure that I am running. So
yeah, we've got Riddle, who is the, I want to say, Russian sort of sounding.
Ukrainian.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's better. Honestly, that's better. Like computer hacker or like some kind of thing. Simon, who is somewhat aligned with this new with the agency. In the more academic and bureaucratic side. And then Luke is, Scouse policeman.
He's way out of his depth.
But he does have a gun. And nothing bad has ever happened with a poorly trained police officer with a gun.
And had we looked on the laptop, or did we see the girl before
it booted?
Booted, yeah.
Technically, you've just accessed the laptop.
Does it look like these two things are correlated? Like we access the laptop and then?
There is insufficient information for me to. You can make your own assumptions, but I will not comment on whether that is coincidental or correlatal, if that's a word. So you've gained access to the information. You have yet to look at the laptop screen because you can now see. So because remind me, were you under the helipad? Or had you
We were
moved...
sitting underneath the helipad, where the helipad has the iris which comes up, so we're sheltered from the rain, and in the boats to so that we can't be electrocuted through the floor at least.
Exactly. So cool. So something with child's legs is sat above you, and you can just see the feet dangling down. So I will now ask the question.
What is the equivalent of a whiz save in this setting, in this system?
So that will
or sanity.
It will be a resolve. What is it that they call it? Wherever they put the stats. So it will be a resolve. I think.
Is it resolve and composure?
Yeah, it's the resolve and composure.
Perfect. This is just for little old me. Yeah, I fire a warning burst immediately.
Okay.
Just curious. Riddles, is cucumber.
So you're not firing. You're not firing at the legs, but you are firing near them.
I am certainly firing near them. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like any kind of check for that?
Given that you're not aiming at anything in particular, no.
Cool.
I'm not going to make you roll to see how easily you can pull the trigger of something that was meant to be pulled. That seems a bit harsh. Okay, so the what you the bullets fire off and there is zero reaction from whatever it is that is above you.
Okay, that's worse.
What are you shooting? What?
Trigger happy, are we?
It's a child.
That's not a fucking child, mate.
There were what, 14 people on this? And there was one who's not on the crew manifest. I'm sitting in a life raft at the bottom underneath the helipad. This is very weird times.
I think Luke is absolutely not moving his eyes away from the discorporated limbs. I truly, if they move at all, I'm firing again. Because if that was a real child, it would have reacted in any way to the bullets.
Yeah.
Just get the fucking laptop open. See what's on there. Now.
All right. Can you get me another raft to go on the top so I can have an insulation bit? I want to be like a hamburger in the middle of two buns.
So I think you've already got a life raft above you because you said
okay, right. Boop.
So,
yep.
So yeah, you're protected from the rain, and you've got what you're classing as a Faraday cage plus a rubber insulation now around.
I think I'm going to step out because I can't keep my eyes on that thing if I'm inside the life rafts.
That is fair. You will see there is a small child. There is the appearance of a small child that is wearing shorts and t-shirt. That is just sort of sat looking forward.
Oh, so if it is, it's got its legs over the edge of the helipad, so we are seeing like the back of its legs. Is that correct?
Yes. So it depends where you are because the helipad's round. So because it's kind of sat on the top. Although now that you've gone out, it doesn't appear to be sitting directly. It's not making contact with any physical surface.
It's not making contact with any physical surface.
No. So it's got its legs over as if it was sat on it, but it is elevated above that by a few centimeters or so. It is, for want of a better word, It is hovering slightly above. Hold on. And now we will pause for just a moment while you ponder your next. What I will do though is I can now
Ooh,
I will
getting
share
a
I will share the captain's log.
Ooh, captain's.
I'll read it out once Rich is back, but
So I'm just going to put a picture in the chat to see if I'm getting this right.
Yeah.
Because this is what I was imagining. So like, you've got Lucas and Simon are sandwiched between the two life rafts, and then
yeah.
Lucas is outside and looking up. So what I can see is the back of those legs. Does that make sense?
So, right, okay. I thought you'd come out slightly further so that you can kind of see the top.
I don't want to see what's up there.
I
also don't want it to see me, but it does know.
Yeah. So right, okay. So yeah, you can still see the legs that are dangling.
Yeah.
Dangling down, but they appear motionless.
Yeah, they better fucking stay that way and all.
They're not like swaying like a child would sway their legs like back and forth.
Really
They're just
still.
They are.
Really so I can't see this actually. So I go, what are you shooting at? That is concerning.
I will be. We've got internal comms, right? Like between.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be describing this to, I guess, Simon on a separate channel, so that so that Riddle can do the work that we need Riddle to do.
He's not explaining to me. He's like, okay.
So the message will come through. It's slightly staticky, but that could be for numerous reasons. One of which being that you stepped outside of a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
Might be.
Might be
something else.
Might be.
So, yeah. So because you've already obtained the captain's fingerprint, you've gained access to the encrypted files. So I will read the whole lot out. Because these two things are happening simultaneously. So,
right.
So 15th of May 2025. Captain Laszlo reporting during a shakedown run of the new research vessel Dauntless. Crew is in good spirits, except for the scientist Jane. She lost her research partner last minute due to appendicitis. How many scientists does it really take to test a computer, though? 2 days later. Performance of the vessel is going well, exceeding expectations, and the crew is enjoying the new games, consoles, and recreational space. Jane Smythe is clearly not a video games person, though, and is getting bored and looking for something to do. Next day, 18th May, the scanners have picked up an anomaly just a short distance away from our planned route. Jane wishes to bring it aboard, which is clearly a serious breach of shakedown policy. Luckily, I'm the captain and have authority on this vessel. 19th of May. Jane went over my head and got authority from the agency on the ground that it's only a level 10 anomaly. I'm entering into the log my official protest. What's the point of these procedures if some bored scientists can override them? Need I remind you that the cube was originally designated a level 10 anomaly, and it's now one of the most dangerous artifacts we have within the archives. I doubt you'll take any of this on board, but I urge the agency to employ a little more caution when making decisions that affect these skeleton crews. 20th of May. We've lost efficiency with the engines and started to experience minor brownouts on some of the decks. I'm convinced that this is to do with the artifact we've brought aboard. I'd be a fool to ignore the timing. Jane tells me that the science doesn't back my suspicions. Now, the next one is not written within the official log. This is a private encrypted message, but it's set the same day. The engine stalled last night. Engineering restarted it and we're underway, but enough is enough. I'm dumping the rocks. What is the agency going to do? Fire me? I'm retiring after this voyage anyway.
Made the one fatal mistake.
Yes. So they are the logs. Meanwhile, Joe, what are you doing?
Let's think. You know, in a horror movie
Yes.
where someone says, "I'm going to go and take a look,"
Yeah, that always really
you always
well.
look at the screen and go, "Why? That was the worst decision you could possibly have made." I'm in the market for a bad decision. I think, yeah, I'm gonna sort of come round. I'm gonna head off at like a 45 degree and sweep in from like the other 45 degree so I'm not coming out with this thing directly on top of me. So if it's there, I'm sort of doing that dog leg and coming out that way and taking a look. Yeah.
So
Perfect.
I've got the captain's logs. Where is he going? What is happening? He shot at something, and now why aren't you saying anything? He's not saying.
Did the others see that?
So the way I'd imagined it before we ended the previous session was that you could all see the legs dangling down.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
However, if you have pulled the life raft over your eyes, then you wouldn't have seen it. But if it's
Well, it's
above
not.
your head, so it's still sheltering you, then you
I
would have
assumed the
seen it.
life raft came down after we saw it. Yeah,
Oh,
I assume
okay,
we all saw it.
yeah.
okay, all right. Why is he
Just
shooting
work
at
on
legs?
just work on the computer. I'm gonna go take a look.
Oh, well, I'm done. I've got all he's here is captain's logs and nothing that helpful in terms of what happened. They tried to dump the eggs, apparently.
Then pick up your fucking gun, and if I get killed, start shooting.
So, as you step out,
Yeah.
can I have a
Probably not.
composure and resolve check, please?
No, you can't. You can't. No.
No. Okay, so um, so the child is motionless. It doesn't even acknowledge you in any way, shape, or form, and you are unable to. You know that it is a child, but if someone were to ask you to describe it, you could not.
I think I'm going to be narrating this to my body cam.
Yeah.
And over an open channel to these guys as well. Yeah, I will say basically that. Is the rain interacting with it?
That is a wonderful question. The rain appears to be hitting something, almost, but it's rather than running down a very clear surface, it's as if it's been spread over. It's very difficult to get an actual shape of whatever the thing is. So the rain is not, as far as you can tell, the rain is not directly hitting it. It is going slightly around it.
I'll report that as well. It is there's some kind of anomaly there that is taking up physical space, but it's not in the shape of a kid. Is it? So it is. The question being, how to phrase this? I know it's not like interacting or moving in any way. Does it look like a physical still image, like a CCTV still, or is it genuine, like a frozen? Is it a frozen image like a CCTV still, or is it a person sitting very still but still obviously undergoing biological process?
Can I either have a perception or an investigation check?
You can. Is that intelligence investigation?
Yes, that would be.
I think at this point, Riddle puts the laptop up, drops everything in the way, and then gets the gun out and stands up and starts going with you.
Does Riddle have an earpiece on, or is the broadcast playing out loud?
I've got
So I think you've all got
earphone.
earpieces.
Yeah.
Depends. It depends whether you've switched it from a direct to an open, because originally you weren't transmitting to Riddle.
I asked because I turned my radio off back in the first room in the first session.
That is a
Yeah.
very good point. So you will. So it's not coming through the radio mic, but at the same time, he's only a few meters away. So you could, if you're straining to listen to what he's saying, then you can hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he's walked a very long distance whatsoever.
Sure.
I mean, you can still see him. So yeah,
I mean, the wind's howling, but I'm like 5-10 meters away, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not so loud that it's deafening everything. So what was so it's not coming through your radio mic, but you are hearing what he says. And so 2 on the investigation. What was the, so whether it was a CCTV still?
Is it like like what you might call like in D&D like a major image, like a still thing? Is it like minor illusion where you can do a static thing, or is it?
Is it playing an idle animation?
So no,
Thank you. Yes.
It appears to be a static image. You can't see any signs of breathing.
It's not blinking or
anything like that.
Are compasses that were previously pointing left or right and then down are they now pointing?
No, they are still pointing down. They're based on where you are. They're either pointing directly down or down and slightly to the east, but not up at the what I will refer to now as the child.
Is that with a capital T and a capital C?
Very much like the ladies' chambers. I feel if I spell it out, it might give something away.
Who would do such a thing?
Yeah.
Given that this thing is not moving with potentially some false image or some description, can I look around the rest of the top deck to see if I see anything sort of in the shadows manipulating this thing?
Absolutely. Again, I will give you your choice of perception or investigation.
Anglerfish.
Can I
Have a cigarette.
Is that
No.
intelligence plus investigation?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. It's because the investigation is a mental trait. It uses the intelligence.
Let's do
Yes.
think of
Very nice roll. So, as far as you can tell, you are alone on the top deck.
we could just say hello. That is a thing we can do. It could respond to us. It could say hello back. We could go hide in we could take the two things. It's electrical. We could walk with it and be like, hello. And then when nothing happens or something happens, we see what happens. You're very, the sternness of your face is making it very difficult to know if this is a good idea or not. I don't.
I'll.
It's.
Go on.
It is clearly not a child, I grant you, but maybe it is smart and thinks we will believe child non-threatening in trying to communicate.
I will come and join Luke. In full view, observing.
Can I have a resolving composure check, please?
I bet you didn't put ones in both of those.
Composure and what was the other one?
If he's going out, I'm going out as
Composure
well.
and resolve.
Because there's no way I'm sticking around.
Is this a form of mind control? Because I have bonuses if that's the case. Wording is specifically to contest supernatural mind control.
Yes, but again, as a qualifier, not in a pineapple's way.
It is a mind affecting effect.
Yes. As yeah.
Is 8
Cool.
a success?
8 should be a success. Yes.
So that 6 is now an 8.
Oh. Okay.
So 1 success.
Okay. So for as you the image does not change. However, as you step out, you are aware that you have the impression that you are now being watched. And yeah, it physically has not changed its appearance, but you get the impression that it is now looking at you.
The singular or plural you?
So you as in Simon, Richard's character.
And did you say she was floating back when I had to pop out?
Yes. So it's sat on the platform, but it is slightly above. It's not making contact with any physical surface.
But we're talking like a meter, or like
No.
a
You're
lot
talking
closer than that.
You're talking at a few centimeters.
Sure.
Is it spatially locked to that point in space, or is it like as the boat is moving up and down with the swell? Is it changing how far above it's hovering?
Oh, I love that.
Good image.
That is a really
like
good
the
point.
moon.
Yeah, it would be moving up and down with the vessel. I'd entirely forgotten that point. So yeah, it is. Yeah. So
is there a slight lag in like when it's moving up and down with the vessel?
No.
Like there's like okay.
No, it is moving in time with the vessel. The equivalent. Imagine a child is sat on an invisible cushion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if they're going out, I'm not going to stay here by myself. So yeah, I go out as well, and go look at this invisible cushion child.
Greetings, young miss. I apologize for my compatriot's reflexes. He's a guns first kind of person, and I apologize for that. What may we address you as?
Cool. I will answer you in just a sec. Brad, can I also have a resolving composure check from you as you have now stepped out?
Sure.
Ooh, you've got some good stats in there.
I mean, we've shot it at this point. We can see us at this point.
A success.
Okay, so yeah, with a success, you also have the feeling that you are being watched. Once you address it, there is then movement from the child, but it's not natural movement. It's very sort of jolty, as it then sort of it a little bit like a clockwork toy. It kind of then it now looks at you, and in a child's voice it will say, "Are you my friend?"
I am open to the possibility. I'm more than happy to make acquaintances with you.
Sure, why not?
Are you with the others?
What others?
The people who live on this vessel?
We've not seen any others alive on this vessel, so I would say no.
It forms an approximation of a grin, and it says, "Oh, they're not alive anymore. They weren't very nice, so they had to go. Not all the creatures are bad, though. I tried to free the fish, but it died."
Fish?
In the captain's quarters.
Oh, right. There's the fish. Fish cannot breathe in air. They need water. We cannot breathe in water, just so that we're all clear and on the same page here.
That is very useful information.
I'm full of useful information. I would like to continue to be full of useful information. to be continued useful information, I need to stay alive. I'm putting lots of information out there so everyone is aware and clear.
Are you with the others?
Not really, no.
Maybe you will be different. The batteries in your torches die, and the image vanishes.
Shit.
Well then.
Well, can we go inside somewhere where we're not being rained on, please? That seems like a sensible solution.
Sure.
That Faraday cage we found before, I think we huddle up close.
Oh, where are you
Okay.
off to now? Or
I
what
cannot
are you
remember
doing now, I guess.
where that Faraday cage is, but I want to go to it, please.
So we knew there was going to be
there.
one on the lower levels. We hadn't actually found it.
Oh, okay. I thought we found a place where the batteries weren't draining, though.
That was just a metal cupboard.
locker.
That was a locker, yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's
Just
right.
lock on the fifth three people.
Well, it didn't mean to kill. Well, maybe it did mean to kill people, but it maybe didn't understand, or maybe it got threatened somehow.
Do I still feel the presence of being observed?
No.
Okay.
As Riddle says that about it feeling threatened, just without breaking eye contact, I just snap the safety on the
Is that safety on or safety off?
on.
Oh.
Yeah. The safety was not on during that exchange. Jesus Christ.
I didn't think it would be, but
No,
I had
always good to check. So we had done everything on levels 2, 1, and 0. So it would now be going down to -1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where
Is
we
it
lost
counted for all bodies bar one?
Yes.
Bar the mystery guest?
Yeah, we're.
You are
No.
So I can't remember the exact number. The itinerary said there were
13.
13.
I've got 12.
We had
So-
accounted for 12 bodies, but some of them were unidentifiable. So either we have found every crew member except the scientist and the mystery guest, or the scientist is now unrecognizable, and we have found 11 crew, the scientist, and
So Keith, your instructor, said there were 13 people aboard the vessel. You've accounted for 12 of them. During your initial dig of the logs, the ship has to, when they declare the number of souls on board when they leave a harbour, it said 14. But Keith has told you there were 13. You've definitely identified 12.
yeah. There are 12 dead, none of whom are recognisably Dr. Jane Smythe.
Correct.
Go through the labs again, down to below decks then.
So,
Makes sense to me.
so are you heading down to that lab there?
Yeah. Because the top level was the computer lab. 0 was like wet lab with fume cupboard. And then we were expecting heavier labs as we were going down into the bowels of the ship.
Yep. Right. So yeah, this is a much heavier duty looking lab. There are several isolation chambers that appear to be constructed of a combination of metal and glass, with sort of an analysis panel on the crew side. They all look to be relatively pristine.
But they put the rocks in the labs on level 2, didn't they?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the The captain wanted them thrown overboard at some point.
Don't think he got his wish.
And a
I
lot of
don't
the
think so.
a lot of the other rooms had like the nearest thing to the door had some activity around that. So we're getting the sense there's no activity at all in this one.
So the no, so everything has been put back as it was. You're certainly welcome to check the computer systems. I'm more than happy for you to once again repeat what you've done there.
Yeah.
So
Starts ripping hard drives. Yeah.
okay, so
By the way, can I say I'll have picked up more batteries on the way?
yes, because you left some in the hangar.
Yes.
Which you've grabbed and you've come back and gone down. So, okay, so yes, are you using the credentials that you had before for Jane?
Yeah.
Obtained from the post-it notes. Cool. In that case, you won't have to make a check. So, there are these are slightly more scientific in nature as opposed to audio logs. So 2 seconds, because you'll need a check to decipher them. It's going to be an intelligence one for sure. And academics, can we go intelligence academics check, please? Or intelligence and science is probably more appropriate, actually.
Okay. Do that.
And anyone can, because you've all got access to the logs. So, okay, cool.
Oof, just barely a success on my part.
I think someone rolled as the group token as opposed to their own.
Apologies, that was me.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
the group token has 0 stats, so you will be at a pretty bad disadvantage there. Have you rolled and it's not come through?
Right. Again.
Ah, there. Nope, still the.
Have you got the group token selected?
What I can do.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, because if you within the actors, I can put tokens onto the map if it's easier.
There we are. Let's try that. Oh, it's unskilled anyway, right? Is it?
So if it's unskilled and it's a mental trait, it'll be -3.
Okay. Then I won't. Sorry.
So yeah, intelligence, which you've got 3, and then
Science is 0.
So yeah, it's 0. So it's still you're rolling 1 dice, which I guess would be the same. So.
But the penalty for failure is a lot worse, though, right?
Oh, if you roll a 1, that is a critical failure. However, you're attempting to decipher drawings, so
right. Okay.
A critical failure in this point would be that you decipher them incorrectly,
Right.
and you get actively wrong. I swear you rolled an 8 there.
But if it's unskilled, it has to be a 10, doesn't it?
Ooh, oh maybe.
That might be why it's doing that.
Okay, cool. Anyway, the rest of your parts. So, so it's around. It's kind of confirming what you've already thought. That the anomaly, whatever it is able to manipulate energy, and either it can either withdraw very large amounts or inject very large amounts, which is why you're getting the differences in hot and cold.
But what doesn't add up there is the fusing.
So, this is where so that's what you'll get with a 0. With a success is what I will call pseudoscience. Is that if you inject enough energy, the molecules will vibrate so significantly that matter will then start to merge together.
So it does look like this is an artifact of the same process, just in a different application.
Yes, so it can either be directed to just make things very hot, make things very cold, cause massive levels of vibration that will cause things to fuse, and around electrical things. If you inject a lot of energy, you'll then cause electrical arcing. The one thing it does note is that this process consumes a lot of power to do so, although there are no notes around how much or how it's like.
So, in order to sustain itself, it needs the power from the ship.
That is a theory. Yes.
In order for it to do what it was doing, it doesn't necessarily need that to do a live bits.
Aye.
It just needs that to do like the weird shit.
Yeah.
The engine room and the engines
Mm-hmm.
and the battery backup, are they? The engines are dead, right?
What?
Yeah. So engines are dead. The lights and all of the equipment is out. You're having to pull hard drives to then plug into the laptop that you've brought. So it is. You could very accurately assume that there is currently no power on any of the decks that you've so far come across.
What kind of engines does this ship have?
And what fuel does it burn?
Is it diesel? Is it petrol? Or are we on a nuclear vessel?
That was my next question.
So, it's not a nuclear vessel.
It is not a nuclear vessel. That is fine.
Yeah. It's either it requires a physical fuel, whether that be coal, diesel, petrol. The exact nature you don't know yet, because these plans don't say. You'd have to either check it out in the engine room, or you might, if you were actively looking for that, because I believe that you found the.
I want to speak to the security person who designed this ship, by the way. Why would you put your containment facility next to the engines, the most important part of the ship? That seems willfully stupid. This is asking for a problem at some point along the lines. Talk to engineers.
The ship's drifting, right?
So the ship is moving, is being bounced up and down on the waves.
Can we check anchor control, see if there's a manual override, at least stop us drifting?
Of course. So
the right one for it.
Because you'll be heading through the cargo hold. So so as you head through the cargo hold, this is a vast, mostly empty warehouse. Once again, it looks you've got that central. It looks like things could be brought down from the helipad down to here. There's a collection of rocks in the corner. These look similar but considerably larger than the ones that you've seen up in the lab. There is there's like a little plaque, a handwritten plaque next to them that just says null, NULL, and other than that, it's a very large but empty cargo hold.
Do any of them look cracked open, similar to how the little one cracked open?
So the little so the thing that was cracked was the glass storage housing. So
the rock itself wasn't damaged; it was the container that was damaged.
Yes. The rock itself was not damaged.
Could I make any kind of roll for what the word null reminds me about?
Yeah. Let's go intelligence and science. Although, if you've got a theory, I'm also happy to confirm it.
I think this is the ones that they tested to find out that wasn't the alien thing weirdness.
I was more going to go occult for the conspiracy theory angle.
Oh, okay. Uh, could you give me a quick, like, what sort of conspiracy? Because I'm not quite following what null might have to do with conspiracies.
If null refers to like a null field or null energy, or
Oh, okay,
like
yeah, yeah,
if null has a specific meaning outside of just being like not something.
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Um, for sure, yeah. That will be. I think that's an intelligence and occult. Let me just remind myself. Yeah, that'll be intelligence and occult. And
Can I see if there's anything like this is the room with the other rocks? Maybe that other rock is in here. Can I just have like a quick whip around and just like look around and see if I see the little one that's been following us?
for sure. So can I either have a um, can I have an investigation check? Again, that'll be um,
Okay.
intelligence and investigation. Um, so so intelligence and occult with one. So null could very much mean that it's like inert or not.
It just seems like a weird way to phrase saying not these ones.
Yeah, so I'm from a conspiracy angle, I'm going to give you several different things here. So yeah, so null could mean that it just means inert, not useful. Um, uh, w- with a general intelligence, the fact that it's been left out in the open, that there's there's enough evidence that might support that theory. There are, of course, there are, of course, there are other stories that talk about a nullify effect that will stop um, electronics or any kind of energy from occurring, which is why it's within a cargo hold, an
CIA
area.
super weapon style to nullify enemy technology kind of thing.
Yeah. Um, so again, it's in the cargo hold. There's nothing electrical apart from the motor that brings the landing pad up and down.
Cool.
Um, um, there are the other thing that you do see within the cargo hold on the opposite side, and this is open to everyone, is that there are several racks of different spare parts. So this again, they all look relatively new and untouched. The idea being that if something broke, this would be the place that you would come to collect said replacement part. Um,
Sure.
from a conspiracy theory angle, yeah. So you might put it where there's nothing actively electrical that could support that side. It could just mean that these aren't anomalous in any way,
Is
which is why they're put here.
Okay.
No.
Is there a torch in the rack of spare equipment that works?
Yes. There'd be there'd almost be like a box full of them.
Given that, could I grab one, turn it on, and just roll it towards the rocks?
For sure. Um, so yes, you do that. It it switches on. It flickers a little bit. It doesn't look as bright as it should be. Um, difficult to tell why. As you roll it towards the rocks, there's no change in its behavior.
when you said the plaque was like handwritten, is that literally like a piece of A4 paper someone's written null on and
Yeah, not even that big. It's like imagine that like archaeological surveys, and they've got like those little cardboard like triangle plaque things.
Yeah.
Almost like if you're at a wedding or something and you've got your name on a table.
are these just on the floor in the corner?
Yeah, they're just on the floor in the corner.
That's weird.
Given
Um,
we're in the room directly above the classified thing, is there any noticeable thing on the floor, like roughly where the compass is kind of pointing us at?
so the the compass was actually so was actually it's going to be pointing straight down to the one that's directly below the lab
Ah,
cargo hold.
not
So
class. Okay.
so whatever that last, so
Sure,
not the
sure.
big area, the small classified
Small
area,
classified one.
that
Okay.
is where that is coming from. I think someone also rolled to see if they recognised the rock from one that they saw
Yeah, there's
earlier.
something around here. Yeah.
And no, not that you can tell.
No, it's not here, so it doesn't feel any familiarity. We just need to cross the cargo hold. Big, open, empty space with no cover.
Sure.
You first.
I'll purposely stride across the room.
Cool. Yep, you successfully cross to the other side. There's again a little sign above the door that just says anchor control. Can I take the liberty of assuming that you're entering
Why
this
not?
small room?
Please
Yeah,
do.
we'll go.
So, so here you can see that it's got anchors on both sides, and they both appear to have been dropped. So the anchor has been deployed. I'm not sure what you do.
Are they all the way down, or
They're
are they
all the way down? Yes.
Because in some ships they would have the anchor control would happen. It's like if we lose power, anchor drop. Or is this somebody's done this and dropped the anchor? It would be two different.
how to tell if a fail safe has gone off, basically?
Yeah.
So that is going to be that's going to be a crafts roll.
Okay. Crafts intelligence, I assume.
Yeah, crafts intelligence.
I have a shot at this, but it's not great.
I will. Yeah, no, crafts. Crafts intelligence.
Okay. No.
No. So yeah. Unfortunately, there's just not enough information to work out whether this is a fail. So.
No idea.
There's a cursory glance you can't tell that it's a failsafe. However, you can see that the motor that controls it looks slightly charred.
Doesn't look good.
You can take longer if you want, because you're not sure, but I will allow a second if you want to have a second crafts check to try and if you're determined to work this out, you can take extra time.
I don't think we should be hanging around here, but at least we know we're not drifting.
Yeah, but maybe whatever that fucking thing is wanted us to stop. How far away are we from where the anomaly said where the map said the anomaly was?
So, hopefully, so if you check the journal entry within the computer file, electronic suite aboard the Dauntless, there we go. If I show you, so the blue line will show its actual route, and by GPS data, that's the last known point.
Is at the anomaly.
Nope, no. You'll see that the blue line travels past that.
Okay, so we're at the midway. So we are at the end of that blue line.
Yes, correct. That is the point that presumably that is the point that you reached when the power went out.
Sure, and if the motors are charred, is it overloads the power and off the anchors?
Again, I will. If you wanna.
I think that's a good working theory.
So but why didn't they turn back and point, like on where the route planner, where they should have turned? Why didn't they just turn back then? That's very strange. Then my timeline events is they found the anomaly, tested it for a bit, died sometime before they got to the turn point, and then it just drifted for a while. Then why drop the anchors here?
Does the route planner contain any date information, like this coordinate at this date, this coordinate at this date?
Not with the information that you've.
That will
So
be in the bridge computers.
so because technically these are paper copies. Oh yeah, that's a good, yeah, because you never actually this is the paper copy that you grabbed from the radio. The radio room 1 would have shown you'll get dates up until a day past the anomaly detected, which is almost where the blue and black lines intersect.
So it's not like whatever this thing is wanted to be closer to the anomaly and has immediately attacked when someone tried to take it away from the anomaly. We are what, 200-300 miles past that.
Yes. So yes, you're that far away from it. However, there's insufficient data to say its reasoning behind why any of this has happened yet.
Sure. Should we check like the kitchen, the rec room, and the engine room, see if we can locate the last body?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. So as you come across, can I have a another blind perception check from you all, please?
Got to push the button.
That's okay. So
Perception. Action. One GM roll. Think I've done it?
yep, that's now come through. Okay, cool. So one or more of you may receive a secret message in a moment, but for now I will just describe the kitchen that you've just entered. This is a large industrial kitchen, or would it be galley? I guess.
Galley.
Yeah. I'm imagining if you've ever seen Under Siege.
Sure, yeah.
It's a food preparation area. It's got a massive walk-in. It's got a massive walk-in fridge. The kitchen doesn't smell too great. There's a slight smell of rotten meat. But it doesn't look like it was the scene of a bloodbath specifically. So
someone's left food out.
Yeah, so
how many days does that miles from
so the important, so firstly, a editorial point of view, that map might not be exactly to scale because I might have eyeballed the distances slightly, but
no.
The idea is you're looking at about a day's worth of travel from the anomaly for it to get back onto route.
Yep.
Hold on.
And then another day to get next. Okay, that makes sense. So 2 days. Rotted meat is about right.
Yeah.
But the food would have been put out around the same time the people died.
Yes. So a day ago.
Between day 2.
Technically, this is about 3 days, because they lost contact with the ship for 24 hours, and then it took you a little while to get out there.
Sure.
So
2 days. So 2 days. Depends on food. If it's corned beef, goes bad quick when it's right out, and all the smell is horrible anyways at the start. Well, we haven't found a chef or a cook.
No.
Maybe
But they could have been relaxing in the crew quarters.
Could have been one of the people in the crew.
Huddled together when
That's
everything
true.
blew up.
That's true. Well, maybe they're in here somewhere.
Okay, cool. Those of you who are going to get secret messages have now received secret messages.
And I
Do
kind
I
of like
get the
lean.
impression that Luke has received a secret message?
Say again, sorry.
Do I get the impression that Luke has seen the secret message?
No.
Basically, is he clocking what I'm clocking?
No.
Riddle is definitely clocking what you're clocking.
Luke does not appear to have changed from his baseline of paranoia.
So I will look over to Luke. I'll put my hand very slowly on the top of your rifle, and I will put weight into it, so I'm forcing your rifle down to the ground. Please don't shoot this one.
Yes, I don't think that would be good.
Young miss, are you okay?
I will allow the rifle to be pushed down. I've got my other hand will go and just rest on the grip of my sidearm as I turn to look at what Simon is looking at.
Cool. Can I? So first things first. So as you're all now looking towards roughly the same point, can I have a composure and resolve check from you all, please?
It's resolve and composure.
A success.
Okay.
No.
So.
2 successes. Greedy over there.
Okay. So.
Is this a mind control thing again?
Yes, it will be. So if you
add another success, then.
Cool. Perfect.
7 becomes a 9.
So 3 success. So Riddle, you're not getting anything, although you can still see what you can see.
Yeah.
Lucas, you can sense that there's a presence wherever they're looking, but that it is not that you're not. It's not the same being watched feeling as before.
I didn't get that before anyhow.
Oh yes, that's a good point. So in that case, you can you can now sense that there's a presence wherever they're looking, but you can't actually see anything. And Simon, you can see what you can see, and this one has, even after you've called out, it's not looking at you. It is, you can feel a presence within the room. It's also worth noting that for the briefest of moments, you can almost see through whatever it is you can see, and you can sort of see sort of a rock hovering within the middle of it. I'm thinking like, do you guys watch Red Dwarf? Like the holographic emitter that's in the center, and then it projects something outwards.
The light bee, yeah.
Yes.
I am going to shoulder my rifle and just subtly, my hand will sort of dance across, so that I'm holding the handle of my knife, and which means that I can use weaponry instead of composure.
Yeah. That's fine.
This is my emotional support knife.
That's fair. So in response to your question, even though it's not looking at you, it's heard you, and it will say, I haven't decided what your purpose is yet.
What is yours?
What did? Okay, so you can't you.
Oh, I can't.
So you can see something.
Yeah.
But you can still hear it.
Right.
I want to go home.
All right.
We would love to escort you home, but unfortunately, this ship has stopped working.
I know. Jane's trying to turn it back on for us, but she's having difficulty with the controls.
Can we all hear this?
Yes. Yeah. So regardless of what you can see or sense,
We
you
can all hear that.
this.
Okay.
That's understandable. Jane's a scientist. She's not a ship's engineer. I'm more than happy to help if that's what you would like.
Oh, I'd be very grateful. I wouldn't
Where?
talk to Jane though.
Say again.
I wouldn't talk to Jane though.
Why not?
She's not in a good mood, and we we might have made a mistake.
It's okay. Mistakes can be fixed.
Well, if you can take us back, I'd be very grateful.
I'm sure we can arrange something. Where is Jane?
Oh, she's in the downstairs lab. It's the only place with power.
Just because it's nicotine. All right.
Do you have
Thank you.
other friends here?
Yeah, but they're sleeping.
Were you the one we saw in the life raft?
Yes. You're very perceptive. I'm glad I didn't drown you.
Thanks. Shall we proceed to the lab?
Oh,
I inquisitively look at the other two.
Well, our new friend, who has no name, has told us to stay away from Jane because she might be angry. Perhaps we listen to this for now.
We'll check out the rest of the place. I would like to make a point,
yes.
and my point is that there were 14 people when the ship left Bristol. That was before it picked up the rocks.
So there were 14. So there were
Souls
14
on board.
people itinerary. There were 13.
Oh, because
people-
the scientist had the appendicitis.
There we go.
Yeah.
So you'll be searching for someone who
We've been
does.
searching for someone who is absolutely fine in a minor injuries unit getting a top up of their antibiotics. Fine.
Lucky bastard.
Than me.
Never once have I wished to have appendicitis. But today I have. Right. We explored the rest of the ship.
So
We avoid
You've got the rec room, the engine room, and all of -2 left to explore.
Yes. I imagine we'll find somebody in the rec room or nobody, and then the engine room next.
Let's go.
Okey-dokey. Cool. So, the rec room is again another relaxation area. It's been split into 2 sections. There appears to be a series of gym equipment, and then on the other half, there's a combination of again game consoles, sort of a small that you've got tables and slightly comfier looking chairs. There's a sealed cabinet that looks like it would hold in place either books or DVDs or games. It's empty, so you can't tell exactly what it would hold, but things of those sort of size that would the idea being that if it hits rough weather, things aren't going to be chucked everywhere. So this is a general recreation room for people during their downtime. It looks used, but there doesn't appear to have been any murders in here.
Given that she didn't go blink out of existence and turn our torches off this time, what's the girl doing when we leave?
She remains in the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're looking for that.
What did you see?
Yeah.
A girl. Was it the same girl as on the top of the ship? I'm assuming it was.
Yeah. So, Previously, it was very difficult to get a grasp on what that was, but given your perception check this time, it appears to be a small girl.
It was the same girl from the top of the ship.
Anything else?
Yeah, if you're going to shoot her, aim for center mass.
Noted.
It's worth noting, even though your torches did not blink out of existence, they have noticeably dimmed.
Yeah.
But you've got fresh batteries in, so.
Let's see. Sorry, I need to look at the. In the lab, are there
Which one? Sorry.
any of them? Have there been kosh cupboards, like chemical reagent storage?
Definitely on the one on this, on your level, yes.
Could I pay a visit to the kosh cupboard?
Of course. What are you after?
Granulated iron,
Sure.
iron filings.
Cool. They are so they are heavier than you would expect them to be.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But yes, that's
I'll
fine.
just pick up, put it in my sack, yeah, in my backpack even,
Okay.
and then head back to the rec room with the others.
Cool. And then on into the engine room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I've called it engine room, and in my notes I've got engineering. But so this is a hulking double room with diesel generators and massive motors that are built into the floor. The generators appear to have stalled but could be restarted. The start procedure is documented on these on the side of these massive generators, but requires a key of some description.
Is it a key that we have seen?
So you have collected the key from the chief engineer.
That was that one.
Yeah.
We got those little, but we didn't really get a chance to look into it last session. But we got the snap to open emergency procedures from the captain's safe.
Yes.
Can we snap those open and have a look in case there's anything that will be useful?
So, there are two things contained with it. So it's a what exactly did I call it? I think it was the. 2 moments. I'm just trying to refine my notes. It says on it in sort of big red letters, containment chambers, flush and jettison procedure. When you snap these open, there are several things. So there's a special mechanical key. There's also an electronic passphrase, should we say? It's a password.
Yeah.
And then there are instructions that read along the lines of in the event of emergency, either electronically or mechanically, you can jettison the containment lab.
The lab.
Below steps. So there's a containment cell and a containment lab, and it has instructions on how you can jettison these from the boat.
Where would we need to be to physically do that?
So the electronic one could theoretically be done from a computer console of some description.
Any PC on the bridge, if you have the right. Sorry, any PC on the ship, not just the bridge, if you have the right passphrase.
That's correct. If you want to do it mechanically, you'd have to physically be at the chamber that you were jettisoning.
Okay.
But obviously on the side that you're not jettisoning.
Sure.
Do I get the impression that the classified labs are air gapped?
So, without seeing them, but they, given your background, yeah, the idea is that these are all they're self-contained units that could. The idea is, if you're going to keep something very nasty, you would do it here. And if that got out of control, you could safely jettison it from the boat without dramatically impacting. Like, the boat's not going to sink just because you've jettisoned part of it.
It was more. It was more that, given that, in theory, I forget her name, Jane
Jane Smythe.
is in the only location with power. Could she do things to us, or are those labs cut off from the rest of the ship in terms of being able to control things outside of it?
So the very purpose of these labs would be that they are self-isolated.
Cool.
So while you don't know the exact specifications of this boat, like any high-grade containment lab, it would be a real bad idea if it was able to interact with anything else outside of itself.
Cool.
So theoretically, they should be self-contained.
Okay. So, and apologies, we've got a jettison point for the lab and a jettison point for, what was the other one?
So you've got it's got containment cell and containment lab.
Containment cell, containment lab. Okay.
Sure. We going downwards then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And restart the engines, but
So this before you move on, I'll give you this bit for free because I've not made it very clear. The engine bit marked on the diagram isn't actually accessible. That's where physically the engines are.
right.
The things, the generators that control everything, including the engines, are located where you currently are.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's more if you wanted to look. That's where the engines physically sit in the area. Cool. What would you like to do? Where would you like to go?
So I guess down to civilian storage then.
Yeah.
Okay. So what have we got here? So there's
Can I, like, when we get down to civilian storage, can I hold up, like, because I have, like, a set of keys, some metal keys. Can I hold them up in the air? Is the magnetic force strong enough that they're actually kind of, like...
They are now starting to be pulled in the direction of the classified section. Yes.
Anyone know what the point is that the magnet starts killing us at? Because I think we're getting kind of close if we're this far away, and this is happening.
But we walked right over it, though, from a floor up.
We wouldn't have noticed it, and there's a bulkhead between us and then.
As far as I'm aware, just out of character, strong magnets shouldn't pose. Well, unless you're about to reveal that you've got a pacemaker or something. No.
Okay. But magnets are was it inverse exponentially decaying or something like that? Like they decay extremely quickly across distances.
So the closer we get, the more we risk being in an MRI machine with a piercing.
Yeah, and it will start pulling the iron out of our blood.
So,
there's that.
Out of character, I might not have known that, so that might not be an actual risk.
Okay.
Not in this universe.
Yeah.
It doesn't just have to be magnetism. It doesn't just have to be electromagnetism. It's magic electromagnetism.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Again,
like,
if you.
But like our guns as well. That's going to be a problem, even without the iron out of our blood kind of things.
Yeah,
we're not going to be able to use these. We need to leave them here, unless you're packing some ceramic new age thing.
within civilian storage. Sorry, I'll describe this area before we just go. So there are just it's shelving unit upon shelving unit that looks to be almost entirely empty. Presumably, this would be excess storage for if the crew was fully manned, if the boat was fully manned. Yeah, there doesn't. It appears to be an empty storage area.
So it's for storing the belongings of civilians rather than storing civilians.
Correct. That is
Test
important.
subjects.
Yes.
Sure. And the engines?
So you've got a bulkhead between you and that. So the area that's marked as engines, that's where the engines physically sit.
So we can't move into there. It is, yeah.
Yeah, that is actually in the water at that point.
So it's both engines and propellers and that kind of thing.
The terminal. So the engine room is actually what has the engine that drives the word engine instead of propeller, and that is. Sure. I'll hold up. That's on me at that.
No. It's got like the drive shaft and the rudder and all that sort of good shit.
The answer to the question is how strong magnet? A neutron star.
To do what? Sorry.
So no. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Maybe not. And this is very bad.
Hang on. So it would be. There would have to be a neutron star to start pulling the iron out of our blood.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's more probably than what's here.
Or the tiny supernatural equivalent of a neutron star.
I won't make you roll for this, but you get the impression that if there was a neutron behind the door, you'd be in much bigger problems.
We would have at least bigger problems than we currently have.
Yes.
Cool. Battery backup.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, there are two sections. So the first section, and it is marked main vessel, and they're long rows of massive batteries, and all the electronics in this section are entirely dead. There is then a Faraday cage-esque area that you can move into again as you get closer towards that classified area, and it says sort of lab backup, and there are electronic readouts on these. They're showing about 20%, but they are definitely powering something. You'll also notice on the wall between you and the lab, you've got a sort of a jettison panel that is marked.
That's where the station is to start. Yeah.
Yes. It says jettison of containment lab, and then it says warning: ensure no crew are inside lab during jettison.
Yeah, well, rules are made to be broken.
Yeah.
Finally.
Bed. Yep, I need to go check on the boy as well. So
that's absolutely fine. If you're gonna pause, now is a good time to do it. So.
Cool. I will be right back.
I'm just going to check on the recording, make sure it's still going. So the door's safe then. Nothing bad
Yep.
behind that door.
None whatsoever.
Have you ever seen what happens when you move a magnet through a evenly distributed iron filings?
I have not. Do I now need to?
I'm gonna try to find you a video to demonstrate what I'm going for.
Is it that it forms like it's magnetic?
It
Like
forms
when you...
a polarity diagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the one you need to see. Just in case this becomes relevant for us anytime in the immediate future. If one were to scatter iron filings on the floor and then observe something with an extreme electromagnetic force upon it moving through them invisibly, one would be able to keep an eye on it.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Apologies.
It's all right.
Gonna go well, right?
I'm sure. I'm sure it
Yeah.
will.
Mm-hmm.
The sound effects aren't getting less threatening.
Say again, sorry.
The sound effects aren't getting less threatening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Really common.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So,
Ugh.
would you like to open the door to the lab?
Yes.
No.
Ugh. Indifferent.
So, the door, it's more of an airlock into the lab. So as you leave the battery back up, you go through. Have you ever seen those like decon things where they blast you full of air?
Yep.
So you're walking through there, and then the door shuts behind you, and the door in front opens, and you find, let's say, Jane Smith. Um, except it certainly has the face of someone who looked like they might have been Jane Smith. They are what I would describe as a large, hulking stone and flesh golem that is kind of very clumsily attempting to use the controls within the lab. It has of yet not seen you.
Like Riddle is looking for the button to open the door behind him. He's like, where? Can't.
Gun.
Cool.
Does it look... When you say it's clumsily attempting to use a computer,
So,
is it
let,
having any effect, or is it just sort of smashing stuff in a pantomime of using a computer?
So it appears to be having some success. However, because I haven't actually put this on here, so if we, where's the
Also, buddy.
Music? Like, did you guys just get the trigger for like haunted voices shouting? Because that's what's
No.
happening in my ambient noise. It's like, oh
Uh,
god.
I can turn it down slightly. I'm not hearing the shouting voices. That's weird. Oh.
You just
So,
like, oh.
I didn't... Honestly, very glad I'm not.
but yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I didn't. I checked it for voices. So imagine something like that attempting to use a human-sized keyboard,
Right.
and it is so.
But is the clumsiness due to a lack of intelligence or due to it being unable to manipulate its new body?
As far as you can tell, it can't use it properly. But it looks like it's very focused. So it's not like it's a child that's just sort of tapping away on the keyboard. It's a hulking creature that's attempting to use a keyboard, but each time it hits a key, it's hitting 2 or 3 of the keys. The
Is it doing the thing that, like, where they get to a point, like if we observe them for not terribly long, because I don't want to stand here in a doorway with a block door behind us with an airlock, but like, is it doing the thing where it taps a few keys, gets frustrated, and just seems to like slam down the table, and then
Yeah.
kind of repeats that process? We need to not be here because that is going to kill us. I'm telling you that now. I've seen this kind of programmer before. They do not do well. They're the kind who shoot up schools. Get us the fuck out of here.
Could I... God, I don't even know what it would be. Make an attempt to realise if Jane Smith is... Jane Smythe is still truly in there.
I mean, you absolutely can make a check.
Oh, I know I don't want to.
No, I'm just trying to work out what it would come under. So this is going to be a
Empathy?
yes. So I'll either allow either presence or manipulation, because this could be a finesse or a brute force, and then empathy. Otherwise, you've got a Mm, yeah. Otherwise, it would be a perception check, but that one can be an open one if you wish to do.
How do you do perception again?
Uh,
The one with the eyeball on it.
well,
Yeah,
that
how
would
is it
be,
wits and composure.
yeah. Oh, was that me that did that? Someone has the group token selected again.
It's not me.
Oh,
I did perception.
Okay.
Riddle is very perceptive. He's got like a skill that lets him do certain things.
As well.
So, like he's trying to do the door, and he's just watching her, and then just all of a sudden he goes, "Oh fuck!"
One success.
So, that might mean so Simon, you might need to do another perception check because you had the group token selected.
I haven't rolled anything.
Ah, okay. In that case, never mind. Okay, so composure and wits. Okay, cool. So you're holding on, but barely. Perception check. There's
Sorry, that was my perception check because I was
Oh,
just
okay.
doing it to do it openly.
Okay,
For one.
so yeah, we've got a couple of successes, one a good success. There is this thing looks angry, but there are certainly human behaviors left within it. This is a creature that has fused with stone and flesh, and is attempting to everything is very it's very sort of clunky. So even as it moves its arms, you've got rock that's grating against rock. The thing looks angry but very focused. The problem
It looks like it's in pain as well.
The problem that you have is you don't know what Jane Smythe was like beforehand.
Yeah. By the way, I just realised I should have rolled an additional, so it would have been 2 successes for me, but
Cool. So
still pales in comparison.
yeah. So
Oh shit! Right. So
you
wait for Rich to come back.
yeah.
What was our directive here?
Your objective was to find out what happened to the crew, or find out what happened to the boat, and then restore power if able, and get back in contact with the agency.
Now, here's the thing. Luke's primary motivator for seeking out the agency and trying to learn as much as he can about this kind of thing is survivor's guilt. And I haven't mapped out deliberately quite what experience he had, but I think it did involve him executing another officer who had something truly horrible happen to them. So this might be an interesting, yeah, like, because how would you even kill that to end its suffering? How would you even do that? This giant rock creature.
Yeah. I will. So the other thing. So it's worth noting that the primary purpose of this lab.
Yeah.
You can see beyond, because once you're into the lab, obviously once you get past the great hulking rock / flesh monster, in fact I will pause and I will, rather than re-beginning in just a second. Hello and welcome back.
Apologies.
No
That's all right.
worries.
Worries.
So as I was just saying, so you've the primary purpose of this lab is to monitor whatever is on the other side, right at the front of the boat, which is a massive. There's going to be about 4 of them, massive holding cells, and they are made up of a combination of what looks to be incredibly strong glass, Faraday cage-esque, and there also appears to be at the sides steel shutters that have not yet been activated. At the moment, it's just a glass panel looking into the. So the lab itself is relatively small and it's used as an observation area for the containment lab. The containment lab itself doesn't appear to be occupied. Um, just to give you the full lay of the land of what lies beyond this great hulk. The hulk is also not really looking into the lab.
Could I also pull out the compass and see if it's pointing towards the scientist formerly known as Jane?
You can, and it absolutely does. This is the thing that is generating a relatively strong magnetic field.
Is it the same rock that's in the cargo hold that it's made out of?
So it looks almost identical. So you can't see what it's trying to do on the computer. If you want to get closer, that will require a stealth roll.
Is she on a computer that's facing towards the greater observation area,
Yes.
or
Yeah. All the computers are lined up so that the idea is you'd work and look into the containment cells.
So the creature is facing away from us.
Correct. Yes. It has, as far as you can tell, it has not noticed you.
is there anything else in this room? Like things, are there other destroyed computers that she's tried to access before? Or...
Yeah, there's a lot of smashed equipment. You are unable to tell whether that was done intentionally or because it's a giant flesh rock golem trying to use a very delicate piece of electronic equipment. There's.
I
What
think we
did
have.
the child say it had done? It made a mistake?
It made a mistake.
Yeah.
We have 2 choices here, gentlemen. We can get the fuck out of here, or we can try and talk to the creature. Maybe Jane is still in there, and then I can do whatever she wants us to do on the computers. Presuming she can still communicate. I'm not exactly seeing functioning vocal cords or any other kind of things there.
Either that or we down the whole thing.
Well, there is that solution. The scorched earth and all that.
The problem is that any attempt to leave would require power, and she has all the power right now.
Well, not for us, because we can sat phone to get the helicopter to come.
If we get the sat phone to it.
Feel free to explain to the little girl why she should let a helicopter land, and after she's already met us.
So, can I have either an intelligence and crafts, intelligence investigation, or even a. I'll even give you intelligence and drive, which aren't 2 things that are usually combined.
What sort of topic is this check concerning? Is it investigating? But what I say is, are my asset skills going to apply here, which are investigation and forensic investigation?
Not forensic investigation, no.
Just going to be the 6.
I am looking for just a single success at this point.
Everyone got it.
Hey.
So, this is more of a very gentle reminder that the engine room was off. So from what you've pieced together, there is remnants of the battery backup that is powering this current lab. It's the only area that's got power because everything else runs off the engine room, which is currently off. Theoretically, if you switch the engines on, you might restore power to the boat. Just to provide that other avenue.
And then we can just drive the thing out of here. But, well...
But the entity is the thing that is stalling the engines all the time, though.
If
you turn the engines back on, that little girl will just go, nah, mate, and...
What
They
did
may
that
have-
thing say it wanted? Wanted to
To
go
go
back.
home.
back, yeah.
So what? Get dumped in the river, in the sea?
maybe if that was its home, but it might not have been. It might have been something else. It might have been stuck there, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, I got picked up. I can go home, home, whatever that might be. But oh, I don't know. I'm not the best at talking to things like this. I'm not the best at talking to anyone. There's a reason I use a keyboard.
Si?
1 second, sorry. I'm secreting.
It's just a verb now. Sorry, did he say he's secreting or he's secreting?
Because
I've had bad experiences with the word secretions in this accent before.
Yes, we should probably be worried about either.
That poor frog.
I don't know really what to do here.
Luke will switch his phone on, and I might try and do this stealthily, away from the other two, if that makes sense.
Okay, so are you entering? So how are you going? Because you're currently stood in the airlock.
In the airlock still, right?
All I'm trying to do actually is just record a video of this thing surreptitiously on my own device rather than the agency's one. What check would it be? Would that be like dexterity stealth?
Yeah, for sure.
Three successes.
Very nice.
So yeah, all I'm doing is just switching my own, like an iPhone 8 on or whatever, and recording a video of this creature.
Okay. Cool. You, as far as you're aware, you successfully do that, and you have recorded this creature, or are recording this creature.
Yeah. Well, once I've got a good amount of it, something about, I'll end the recording. Once I've got like 20 seconds or something, end the recording, just put the phone back in the pocket.
Could I? Is it just a perception roll to try and see? A lot of three successes. I'm very doubtful.
So this would be if you're trying to detect it, it would be a contested perception check. So.
And could you tell me in secret whether I know or not?
Please do.
Oh God. I think Riddle is too glued to this creature. It's just like, nope. I don't care about anything else.
What I'm doing. Sorry for the hedgehog. What I'm doing is sort of just bringing the phone out and just
hedgehog
like that with the phone to record, and then yeah. Cool. You want to talk to this thing, or
It doesn't look like she could help.
then we kill it?
But she might be able to talk to us. She clearly has a goal in mind of some kind, and she knows how the ship works.
Look, pick a thing to do. I'm going to start putting bullets in it.
The company does not take too kindly to the elimination of Class 5 entities.
I think you see real anger in Luke's face as you profess a piece of knowledge very confidently that he really wants.
Then talk to it. I think that's your job.
The keyboard it is currently using, the last keyboard/computer, is starting to break apart. So,
Yeah.
Is there an intercom? Because I imagine there's an intercom between the lab viewing window and the lab main, so they can communicate without actually having to go in there. Is there a way we could activate that?
So,
in the airlock.
Yeah. So you've got an intercom between the lab and the containment cells, and then you've got an intercom on the either side of the airlock.
Does that need to be powered?
It currently is.
Currently is powered.
So everything left of the battery backup is powered.
Right. Okay. So we could exit this room fully and speak from outside it.
Yes, if you wanted to.
Is she too big to come through the airlock? Do we like?
So
I guess.
So how would this work? So the airlock certainly doesn't look like it. The airlock certainly doesn't look like it would fit something of that size in it.
So if you want to talk to her, we could talk to her from back outside in the safety of the other room.
Sure, why not?
I'm indifferent to talk to her.
I would rather like to try. At least we've done something.
Cool. Okay. So the inner door slides shut. You get blasted with air once again, and then the doors into the battery backup. Well, again, the outer airlock, I guess, would open, and there's a video intercom.
Alright, if neither of you want to talk, I will do it.
My only charisma skill is intimidate. I have all of the ranks in
it. Mine isn't mine. The only one I have is empathy. So
okay.
Maybe that actually is not bad, but
I'm happy to try and intimidate.
I'll do it. Riddle wants to do it, so Riddle will do it.
Yep.
Riddle goes, "Hello, Jane.
The thing
can you
hulks up and makes a sort of gravelly roar, and when I say I mean literal gravel.
Like the sound of gravel in a cement mixer.
Yeah, and it sort of shifts its weight towards the intercom, and it peers, and you get another look at that very horrific looking face.
I just got the scream through the music track, Rich.
That's so weird that it's playing it because I didn't. Do you want me to swap it to a different one?
No, it's absolutely fine.
Oh,
yeah. I think it plays it from a different place depending on when you load the instance of Foundry. So they're all on slightly different.
Yeah.
So, and you can see it raise as a massive arm to go hit the button to communicate, but it does so with such force that it smashes the intercom, and you can feel the walls vibrate, and then they vibrate more as it appears to be smashing again.
It's right. Calm down. Stop.
Dr.
It's
Smythe,
fine.
step back. Can I go for an intimidate?
For sure,
I'd like to roll 6 dice.
go for it. Assuming your stats allow. Oh,
0 successes.
so
Wow.
again, you can hear the physical beating against
Stop.
either the wall or the door. And
Is there any kind of you know how in labs you get like if you need something to be like disinfected, there will be like a disinfectant port where it has like ozone disinfection or something separately for items to be passed through rather than people.
So not in this bit. The idea is that the lab itself is sterile, but the idea is this is once again another protection between the containment cells. So you could pass something from the lab into the containment cell if you were working directly
To be
within
sterile.
there. Yeah.
Can she see us? Like, is there?
Yeah, so it was a video monitor, which you no longer can see or hear what's going on through because it's now been smashed and destroyed. But it is smashing against. It's you don't know whether it's the intercom, the wall, or the door.
Jane, stop.
What kind of fire suppression system is there in the lab, Mike?
We will go with probably something like halon, like an inert gas.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is the intercom still working on our end? Like it's still going through?
So imagine so it's right. You can't see or hear anything through the intercom. So
I can't hear.
But we can hear through the walls of the ship.
Yes.
But there's nothing coming over the speaker because the input device has been smashed on the other end.
So
Yes.
I'll keep trying on my end and go, Jane, stop. You need to stop and calm down for a second. We're trying to help you over here, but we need you to calm down. Whatever you're trying to do in there,
That thing's not fucking human anymore.
But it
the
was.
L has a light indicator to show which door is open. So yours is closed, and it now shows that the door on the other side has at least opened. But you can still hear smashing and banging on the other side.
So the other door has moved to be able, as if she's trying to get out.
Correct.
I'm going for the fire extinguisher.
Jane, you are well aware of the containment procedures in this facility and our approach to loose assets. I suggest you stop immediately.
So you would have to shout that, which is fine. So there appears to be no response to that. You hear the alarms blare as you've got there would be a, let's say, a 10-second delay. So it's like the fire alarm to alert that the suppression system has been activated. You've got 10 seconds to either get out or get a respirator. And at which point you can hear the massive hiss of gas.
Yeah.
Yep. This makes no difference to the pounding against that door.
I told you it was a fucking human. Yeah, gun out.
It's made of rock. Does your gun go through rock?
Is it also partially made of flesh, or is the entire exterior rock?
It's mostly rock. There are bits of flesh on it. There might be some limbs, but and some of its face looks partially fleshy. But the fact that the fire suppression system has not stopped it makes you think that maybe
the organic. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, someone's rolling. Fuck, I don't even know.
Maybe she can't hear us because we're. I'm trying to rack my brain on anything I remember about, like, because I would have looked up Jane before. Does she have any kids? Does she have any, like, a husband? Does she have a wife? Anything I can pull through.
Okay, so so here's a quick bio about Jane. She's dedicated to her work. As far as you can tell, she's not one for she doesn't really get people. That's why she's gone very heavily down the science lab route.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's uh, 2 moments. I just need to check something.
Um.
No living parents that you can recall.
Okay. So then, like, Riddle will go and just shout, Jane. Do you want to be remembered to as this creature and monster, or do you want to be remembered for the research you completed here?
Uh, okay.
I'm in the right ballpark.
Yeah. 2 moments. Just need to make another. So there is a loud crack. You hear the sound of snapping metal, and then the banging stops.
Did that work?
All this time, the fire thing has been going off, right? Or the countdown has been going off.
It would be like a 15-second blast of the inert gas, and then it starts to come back on, because there's in gas suppression systems, if I remember correctly. Do correct me if I don't, but I think from the Cat 2 labs at the uni, what happens is there is a blast of inert gas or CO2, and then that stops after either 15 seconds have elapsed and there is no raised temperature reading in the room, or so yeah, it stops either until there is no raised temperature or like X amount of time when it empties out.
So it's going to be the latter in this case because you've manually activated it. There's a big. You can see the edge of a tank, and that so the halon gas is just filled the room until the tank is empty. The idea is it will completely replace any gases within the room with this inert gas that will, from a fire point of view, starve the fire of oxygen.
And then that gets vented out into a secondary tank.
So in this case, because you've manually activated it, it will require a manual activation to then vent the gas. So at the moment, the area is just so it's been pumped full of gas. That's run out, but there's now nothing that's going to vent that gas out unless you activate it.
Might as well activate the vent then, because
it
has. If it didn't do the job I wanted it to do the first place, we should at least make sure that if she breaches the cell, it's not going to kill us.
That's fair. I'm just so the gas has been vented, and it is relatively quiet. You can't hear any movement or anything like that.
She's either dead or what I said got to her. Either way.
If you're there and if you can hear us and you're listening and you can understand what I say, bang twice.
Okay. Okay. It bangs twice.
Alive! and sentient and communicative. See? I don't know if this is good or not.
Accurate.
Yes or no questions. Once for no, twice for yes. That's easy thing to do.
Are you trying to get the ship running again?
So was it so 2 for yes. So it bangs twice.
Do you know what did this to you? I don't like that he's rolling.
It's the question marks.
There's so many of them.
Yeah, it's like it's presumably rolling something like a whiz save against rage.
So it roars with anger, and then quiet, and then it bangs twice.
All right, we understand. Are you? I'm trying to think of the way to word this. Are you trying to take the ship back to the UK?
It bangs 3 times.
So you're not trying to take it back to the UK, or
Yes, but also
yeah, there's a different destination. Are you trying to take us back to the anomaly?
It will bang twice, and then you hear that roar again. It sounds agitated.
It's trying to communicate something else. Like we're not.
Could we go for something like, is it a rote action or extended action, something like that, where you take a bunch of time to do something, but make sure you do it properly?
Yeah.
Could we set up a system of going like A, B, C, D, E, F, get it to bang on that, to get it to spell out one word with a rote action of some kind?
You can set that up. Whether it responds to that
Yeah.
So, as you're trying to explain this to it, it roars once again, and then it starts smashing against.
It doesn't understand.
Smashing against the door. No. It's returned back to its aggressive behaviour, and it appears to be trying to smash open. Again, you can hear that cracking and creaking of metal.
Look, we
if we can get into where she is, if she will let us, then I can fix whatever thing that she's working on. I can finish it probably a damn sight quicker than she can. I can finish what you're doing in there if you let me in and don't smash my brains in.
Can I have a is it persuasion check?
Oh, it can't be empathy.
So empathy's more trying to understand what someone else is.
Oh, okay.
Empathy,
so that's what
empathy is like insight,
okay.
I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be persuasion. Let me just double check that as well.
What's the social skill attributed to
that? So you can either, if you, so it'll either be presence or manipulation. I'd probably say you're doing more of a finesse, so it'll be manipulation.
Okay.
And that's going to be persuasion, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got one dice.
Yeah, you'll be on a. This will be on a chance roll.
What
I
are we
will-
trying to say to her?
If we can get Riddle in, Riddle can do everything that she can't.
Yeah.
But only if Riddle can get in there safely.
Can I do that? With reassurances that we won't hurt her,
Yeah, go for it.
which will allow me to use subterfuge.
Ooh.
If your intention is perhaps to cause harm, then yes, you can use subterfuge.
Harm is on the
So-
table, is what I'm saying.
Arm is on the table.
Yeah, go for it.
The most dice I can roll.
Oh, thank fuck. Shit.
Okay.
So at least
and-
one.
And now, what happens if that's not
Is it that you've both rolled one success?
It might be, yeah. So, Brad, can I get you to roll as well, because you're also doing the talking, but yours will be a persuasion roll.
Okay, well, I don't have any points in that, so
Appreciate it's a chance dice, but you have
Yeah.
also been talking, so
no success.
Can I try an intimidate roll, but instead of just shouting louder, give a specific rhetorical argument?
in what sense?
So the intimidate roll I would like to check is either you let us in there and we will fix this, or we send you down to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, that works.
Because I feel like lines of communication are breaking down,
Hmm.
Very much
and
so.
this is an appropriate time for me to roll 6 dice.
Yeah, go for it.
But yeah, with the knowledge that if we do send her down to the bottom sea, she clearly doesn't need to breathe. So it's going to be a very lonely place down there.
Cool, go for it.
Oh, this is so very much not the kind of character I normally play. That's going to be 3 successes, Mike.
So it roars and you can hear it banging, but it's no longer banging against that wall. So it has acknowledged what you've said.
So let's start this again. Bang twice if you agree to that proposal. Me and the techie here are going to come in the room and you're going to sit on your hands against the back wall and do fucking nothing. You understand me?
I love that. And yes, it goes deathly quiet.
That's not a yes.
It's not a yes, not a no.
Oh shit.
Um,
It's my life I'm taking a chance with at this point, so
I'll cover you.
oh fuck. Gonna hit the airlock.
Simon,
Yeah, look-
staying outside?
Yeah, look.
Don't we need respirators and stuff? Because right now there's no.
No, you got vented.
I manually vented it. Yeah.
You hit the airlock button and nothing happens. The door on the other side.
If the other side is now stuck open.
Yep.
Can I try and just batter it?
Yeah.
Ooh, I've got the
so-
demolition skill.
Yeah, I've got four dice in strength athletics as well.
Yep, that's absolutely fine.
I ignore 2 points of durability, so I will add that to whatever he's doing.
It says a 1 success.
Okay. So, as you pry the door open, a series of alarms start going off.
Sick.
Um,
Can I? The alarms are powered, and there must be power on this side. Can I just whip out my laptop, hack into the thing, and turn the alarms off?
yes. So, that's going to take a bit of time. What happens as you're doing that is you can see that the lab is now completely smashed up. There's nothing usable within there. You can just about make out an arm or something that appears to be stood stationary. as the alarms go off, you see the steel shutters on the containment slam shut, and then another steel barrier comes across the airlock on your side. The entire place is now locked down. You can hack into it and override it if you so wish.
The lab itself is destroyed.
The lab itself is destroyed.
Okay. But maybe some of the hard drives are recoverable, so maybe I can figure out what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I will do that. I will hack
Okay,
into it with the option of leaving a back door, so I can just immediately go click and turn it back on.
Yeah. The idea is you would gain control over the doors. So, this is going to be an intelligence computer check, please, which I imagine you won't have too much trouble with.
There's a lot of dice I rolled.
So,
Holy shit!
that's over 5 successes. That's a critical success.
14 dice.
Wow.
So you now have full control over these doors. So from your laptop, you can open and close any of the doors within the labs that are still operational. The one, the inner airlock door's been smashed and is now destroyed. That's inoperable. You also have control over the jettison procedure.
Okay, cool. So I will turn off the alarms. Like I'll just turn the volume down to 0. It's still actually ringing, but no one has to hear the bullshit anymore.
Nice. I will carefully step into the room and try and get a good look.
So the word bull in a china shop. Imagine flesh golem in a science lab. There's a lot of very damaged equipment. In defense to the containment lab, that still looks pristine.
It's this subsequent auxiliary computer room that has had the lion's share of the wrath.
Cool. So now I'm just going to make a check. Cool. So can I now have so you're going in to grab the drives, right?
I will go in and get Riddle to direct me on what he wants.
Cool.
The drives with the computer that she was working at last.
Can I have a Dex athletics check, please? And this will determine how long it takes you.
As he's going in, can I just say, Jane, we're just going to go in there to pull some hard drives out. All right, that's what we're doing.
Okay, so you can make a persuasion roll to hopefully add to that.
That is 0 successes.
Okay.
I'm just picking up the whole fucking thing, and.
Okay. Yep. I just need to, because it takes you quite a while. Still good.
I'm also trying to scope out what do the eyes look like on the creature. Are they still organic?
They're almost sort of black. Imagine where the iris is expanded to the full size. You're unable to tell if that is
crystalline or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, no worries.
So, you now have the devices in hand when poor Jane clearly loses control of her and she begins charging towards you.
Cool.
Time to go!
Yeah, I'm gonna get out.
Fuck!
Okay. So, she is now smashing against that door.
The moment he's clear, I just go boom.
The steel
security
shutters
barriers
come down. Yes. So you will have some time. So that's going to be a intelligence computer check to see how long it takes you to crack that versus her.
Her physical check to batter down the doors.
Yep.
Buddy.
I roll a shit ton of dice.
Oh. Is that
I'm
what?
very good.
4 intelligence and 5 computer or something? Or
Yeah.
nice.
Nice.
So, um,
I don't dare say I'm invincible. Last person who said that turned it goes into
Especially in this
popsicle.
extent.
Yes. Terrible plan.
so the outer airlock door is smashed down. The steel shutter is now being hit against. You, however, successfully pull the data before she can get to that. And I mean, 4 successes is really, really good. She is attempting to program a course into the computer using a computer that was never designed to control the boat. It's a separate system. She will never have been successful in her task. It's the only computer with power, but it would be like trying to get your microwave to drive you to somewhere. It's just the two systems don't,
And
they're intentionally kept
is,
separate.
is the course home via the anomaly site?
The course isn't even back to the UK. It's
It's to
back
the
to the
anomaly site.
It's
And that's
to the
it.
anomaly
Okay.
site.
Right. All right. Good. We know where she was going. We know where the thing wants her to. Probably programmed her head where she was supposed to go. We can turn the engines back on. We can get this thing back where it wants to go, and maybe the anomaly can fix her, or at least make it less painful.
Right, division of labour. Can you plot us a course so I get the engines running?
I can do that. I can do that from either electronic suites.
Yeah. So
We don't specifically need the bridge computers to.
no, because of your very amazing computer rolls, you can do it from.
I could probably do it from my laptop at this point.
I'm just making a couple of checks.
But we need to go fast. No more talking. Go, go, go.
I'm
go,
going.
go.
Yeah, I'm heading for the engine rooms. Get stuff online.
Before we go, are you able to equip me with some remote control over the emergency jettison procedure? Because if she gets to that door and we haven't been, and I hear the engines aren't turned on, we need to make a choice.
I mean,
Promise not to use
there's
it.
the physical key that I've got, isn't there? That we got
Yeah.
from the captain. I'll hand him that.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got the key.
Yeah. So it's you look it over because the jettison procedure's on there, but it's designed to be relatively simple. So there should be a 1-minute warning if you're jettisoning the lab. However, because of the critical success earlier, I will allow you can immediately jettison it if you so desire. So
I can, or if he uses the key, he can.
You can change the time limit because
Right.
so if you want to jettison the containment labs, that's an instant process. If you want to jettison the actual the computer lab bit that might house actual people, there is specifically designed a short-term lockout to allow whoever's on the other side to the idea is you can't just run in and murder all the science crew, so
Right.
Don't tempt me.
but you can change that timer from 60 seconds to 1, for example.
Okay.
And then you two run off to
Yeah.
go do things. Have you guys seen Aliens?
Yeah.
This is the exact scene that I'm imagining.
I don't think it's the same scene. You know, like the company man on Aliens?
Yes. The one who's
like
the
you
actual
handed-
villain? Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
It's like you've handed him the key.
I am gonna throw. So, are you staying here, Riddle?
No, I will head up to the captain's area.
Cool. I will throw you a canister of iron filings.
Right.
Uh,
What?
Put it on the floor. If one of those magnet anomalies comes near, you'll see it coming.
Sounds good. Yeah. And I just start running up to the bridge.
Yeah, I'll go straight for the whatchamacallit? Engine rooms.
Cool. So
Can't be that difficult different to a motorbike, can it?
No. So the procedure is relatively simple because the instructions are written on there. You've got the key. So what I will now need from you is I will need athletics checks, which I will allow either dex so that you can take the shortest, so you've got a level of parkour going on, or I will allow strength athletics. To
I was
literally
gonna take the parkour merit as well. I just didn't think it would come up.
so they are your two options. So Lucas, you're heading to the engine room.
I am. 4 successes.
Perfect. And now
As I believe the one person with the maximised physical stats on the team.
right. Okay. Cool. So, can I have another roll from you, please, Lucas?
Same again.
So we've got and I'm not seeing anything from Riddle because you've also got to get to. You've either got to get to the electronic suite, or no, that would be the only place left that could control it.
So do you want 2 rolls, yeah?
But basically, Lucas, I need you to get to 5 successes. That's what I'm looking for here.
There's 5.
So yeah, you've got to 5 in 2 rolls. Riddle. How long does it take you to get to? And you've got slightly further to travel. You are currently muted at the moment. If you were asking a question.
What skills do I need? Dexterity.
So you can either have dex and athletics or strength and athletics.
Okay, dex and athletics.
As to whether you're parkouring your way there or literally sprinting.
I don't have any training in athletics, but I do have a decently high dex, so.
Yeah, luckily because it's a physical trait, it's only -1 to the roll.
1.
Okay.
This might take a while. 3.
It's fine. You don't know how well the other things roll.
This is brutal. We're at 7.
Hey, there's 1.
8. 9. 10. 11. 12.
How many do I need?
That's it. That's it. That was 13 rolls.
Thanks. Yep.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Get ready for the jettison procedure, I would say, Simon.
Okay. You activate the engine room, and it stutters into life. I actually have the sound for this now. But I've been waiting 2 sessions to play this. Right. It's mainly just there's engine noises now.
Nice.
The engines roar into life, and lights start switching on across the ship, and you can hear that things are starting to power back up. While Riddle is making his way all the way up to the top, can I have an intelligence? Let's do intelligence and academics from both Lucas and Simon.
Oof.
Okay, cool, perfect. I only needed a success.
I just need to double check something.
You can fire the engines back up, but the anchor's still down.
Mhm.
So, you don't. So you can. So
Yeah, success from me as well. Oh no, because that's unskilled, so it had to be. No, that's a fail for me.
okay. So Simon, the anchor's still down. So, but you have much bigger problems because you don't hear back from Lucas, and that steel door is going to give. Ish. Sorry.
Are we getting each other over comms at this distance?
Yes.
I will shout engines up then.
Cool. So I mean that's relatively so there's things powering back up all over the ship. The steel door is now starting to buckle and collapse. It is highly unlikely that it will not hold out before Riddle can get up to the top. As several minutes have passed and poor Riddle has tripped over.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
I need to go to gym after this.
So I will ask the question. You don't have to do it, but just before the steel doors break, what do you do?
As soon as the pounding starts on the outer airlock door, Simon will look at the key, drop it, and then head up.
When you say drop it, as in drop the key?
Drop it on the floor.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm glad we're going where I'm going. All I can say.
As soon as the engines are on, I wanted to head up to the radio room. So I don't know if this will have even happened before that's happened. But I'm not going down that way to check, by the way. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So can I have a? So I will need from you, then Simon. Strength and athletics, dex and athletics, one of the two. And are you?
So athletics either way, and then my choice of strength or dex. Is that?
That's correct. Yes. And can you message me what, or you can say it out loud? What is it that you're planning? Because I think I know what you're doing, but I would like that in either writing or confirmed. You will need to keep rolling.
I'll keep rolling. Oh, apologies.
So yeah.
How many do I need?
You're looking to get to 5.
One more? Or two more?
2 more.
2 more.
Uh, 7 rolls.
Okay. And are you able to tell me what it is exactly that you're doing?
So I succeeded on the earlier check to realise the anchor needed.
That is correct.
I'll first go to. I'll go up 1 floor to the kitchen.
Yep.
Is Ghost still there?
Nope.
I'll then go across to anchor control.
Okay.
And then I'll go up to life rafts.
And is the objective to pull in the anchor?
Yeah, I'm not sabotaging.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
I am very much company man from Aliens in that this creature needs to be kept alive as a specimen for the company. If we contain it, great. If not, then I can always pop off onto the life raft and...
Okay, so you hit the anchor up button, and the you hear the motor attempt to start up and then stop. It is now very apparent that the burnt out looking motor is indeed burnt out and would need replacing.
Replacing or repairing?
There's a replacement in the cargo hold, or you could also attempt to repair it. Now you can do either. However, there is
Yeah.
there's now a very serious time factor at play
Mhm.
here.
Like Rich doesn't know this, but is there like a jettison on the anchor?
Oh, to
Oh.
anchor release.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like what about it on the other side? But
To just fully cut the
oh my
anchor
god.
cable.
yeah.
Yeah, there would be. And as you've got, yeah, for sure. Okay, so you literally just disconnect the anchor.
You don't need that.
That so so there are two very loud kind of explosions, I guess, as the anchoring the anchoring bolts for the anchor chain are literally blown apart, and then ejected out of the side of the vessel.
You would hear that from all over the ship.
Simon, what's
For
going
sh-
on?
What
Release
the
anchor.
hell?
We can't, if
Oh,
the engine's turned on, we can't go anywhere.
Riddle,
well,
how you doing?
I, I'm very out of shape, and there's lots of stairs.
For fuck's sake, I'm going to the radio room to Mayday.
Okay, so Simon, you've now made it to the life raft compartment. Riddle, you've now made it to the electronic suite. And Lucas, can I just have one more check? Again, strength or dex, athletics check.
You most certainly can.
Wow.
Perfect. Yeah. So you've done this so quickly that you've actually overtaken Riddle, if I've got my numbers correct here.
Yes, I'm heading up to the radio rooms are on the as electronic suite analog, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Cool. In that case, can I burn some of those successes to just like underarm pick up and drag Riddle along faster than he would normally be going?
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
You can give him the assist there. So
Yeah.
so Simon, you're in the life rafts.
Is there time for me to go to one of the Faraday cage cabinets and grab a fresh set of batteries?
That would be within the hangar.
Yeah.
Yes. So by the as far as you're aware, yes. Because you've now left that area, so
Yeah.
yeah. So cool. So you've grabbed a fresh set of batteries.
While Riddle is doing his thing on the plotting the course, I'm going to be sending out Mayday via the ship systems rather than our sat phones to the agency.
Okay, cool, perfect. So, are you what course are you plotting?
Back to the anomaly.
Okay, perfect.
And can I just say, little girl or whatever you are, we're going back to where Jane was trying to send you. Can you try and fix her or something?
Okay. So there will be once you've turned the boat around, there will be 5 children that appear around you, and they will say, "We will try, but we did tell you she's very angry, and we made a mistake."
You did make a mistake. She's not supposed to be made of rock.
But we'll do what needs to be done. And they disappear.
Could I try and grab any kind of rope or carabiner or chain or anything that I can see around?
So you'd have some in the hangar. There'd probably be some around the landing pad. There might be some on the walls, so for sure.
Cool.
So, right, Simon, you're at the life rafts. What are you doing?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Status report over the radio. What's going on? The engine's ready yet?
Engines ready. Ship is plotted for course. We are going back to where we're going back to the anomaly, and I've just had a visit from several of the children, and they're going to try and do something.
Cool.
Just render her into glass by heating her up.
Oh, and I need a change of pants. That is unrelated to anything else. Just
So
yes.
you've plotted the course. You are about a day's journey away. You receive a message back from the agency. They're sending a helicopter to come pick you up. They're about 2 hours away. After a few minutes, all the lights across the ship dim, and you can hear the engine sort of splutter, and that continues for about 30 seconds, and then everything comes back up to full power. And the 5 children once again reappear around you, Riddle, and they say, "It is done.
What is done?
We have contained her."
I'll take it at this point. Thank you. We are going back to your anomaly place. Do you want us to just drive the boat there, and then you will take care of everything else beyond that?
If it is heading to the destination, then we can get off when it arrives.
Right.
Yeah, I need to know what happened. I'm gonna go and look.
So.
Yeah, I'll relay that. I'll relay that to them, and I'll just say, the place where you are, that's your home. You all live there, right?
Yes, we were
Okay.
kidnapped, and we got very angry about it.
I can see that. I think I'm going to mark that on our maps to avoid from now on.
Please do. We do not like uninvited guests.
That's clear.
Lucas, you come down. So the batteries on the lab side have been pretty badly smashed up, and there is a very frozen. So what they've done is they have superheated the floor. So you've got molten rock and steel that now merged, and it is stuck in place, and the rest of it is encased in ice.
Does it look like it's holding?
All very much so. It's showing no signs of life in any sort of description. They appear to have undone whatever it was that they did. It's making no effort to struggle or move or...
When you say it's making no effort, is it sort of resignedly standing there, or does it look inanimate?
It looks inanimate.
Cool.
So, is there anything else you would like to do for 2 hours while you wait for the helicopter?
I need pants.
I am gonna sit there for a good 5 minutes on my own down in the hold, videoing, taking photos, uploading them through a secure browser to various websites. Blow this whole thing wide open.
Cool. So after 2 hours,
does Lucas at any point message us to say that they have done what they said they're going to contain her?
So I take a few minutes to do that, and then I say, I've just arrived. Da 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 da.
Okay.
Yeah. They've frozen her. It.
I guess a few minutes later, Lucas will show up. Simon will show up. Yeah. Shame.
So that jettison procedure went well then.
I activated. I released the anchor. We weren't going to go anywhere without it, and none of you thought to do it. My bet was that the containment would hold, and chose that over our
Now
estate.
I know that I am going to make this untrained, and I am going to be rolling against a truly phenomenal amount of dice.
Can I please have 2 secret rolls from you?
Is that going to be empathy?
So, Lucas, you're looking at...
How do I make it secret?
Go to the...
What you'll probably have to do is just make a manual roll, and then say private GM.
If you
roll.
do private GM roll in the drop down underneath where all the dice are rolling, that will change all the rolls you have to just go to Mike.
So if I do that
Let's
one, for
try
example,
that. Is that private?
does that come
Yep.
only to the one I've just done? Does that come only to you, Mike?
Yep.
Cool. So
I can't see them.
what roll am I making?
So, so you will need to make a empathy and empathy and composure, probably. Or would it be finesse? You can either do empathy and composure or empathy and manipulation contested against. That will be manipulation and persuasion from.
That many.
Would it not be subterfuge?
Is this? I did not scroll down further enough.
Yeah,
Apologies.
I'm fully
Yeah.
both expecting and wanting to
Sub-
fully believe this lie.
Okay, cool. So I'll message you each individually.
As you've had this confrontation, a couple of minutes later, Riddle comes in with new pants. Just new pants on. What's happening? This seems oddly tense.
That's.
I'll just nod over towards the frozen golem person.
They said that they handled it.
Cool. So 2 hours the helicopter arrives, and there's a couple of agency people, and they said, "We'll take it from here. You guys get on board, and we'll get you home."
Can I just tell them the place that this ship is going? Mark it on the map. Don't go there anymore. Understand? Good.
Okay. So, how much of the situation have you relayed via the radio before the helicopter arrived?
So the initial Mayday call would have been hostile threat on board, immediate extraction, and then after the frozen, because I imagine that the freezing happened within the and getting back up to the radio room would have been within the first 5-10 minutes. So I'll have given an after action report of as detailed as I can on the.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah. Lovely. They go right. Got you. Instructions understood. We'll drop them off, and then take it back to port. Get this cleaned up. Yeah. Good work, lads.
15 people. Oh, and tell that scientist who had appendicitis he's the luckiest man on the earth of the fucking planet.
We will. Well done.
Just a random private roll. Cool.
Is there I imagine there are anomalies and events that happen in more urban areas.
Yeah.
And there are occasions where we need to have code words to sort of communicate when there are law enforcement present. So can I, as we're saying, as Riddle says, make sure we'll never leave this place again. I will use a code word that says warrants further investigation. Make sure you use containment, high entity level precautions.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, so if
that was for the benefit of the other agency staff rather than. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. Lovely. Mission accomplished.
Yay!
Well done.
I think, do we go back to the original? Were we on a ship, a different ship originally?
No, so I imagine they probably would have been a support craft, because I don't think helicopters can quite travel out that far. So you would have arrived back on a different ship.
But when we had the meeting this morning where we found out we were coming here.
Yeah. So the way that I'd done it is the helicopter would have taken you from the UK straight to the boat, and I think that's what's going to happen we please don't research into helicopter travel distance and fuel ratio because it might not be that great. But
Runes.
but yeah, that's what happens. So you arrive back at the UK, and Keith stamps your paperwork as I think it's satisfactory or passed, and he says, "Well done. We will get back in contact."
I
How many of
properly
these
swing
do-
for him.
Hold on.
I think when Riddle gets a satisfactory, he just goes, how many more of these do I have to do before you let me loose? It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
We'll let you know.
Uh-huh.
So Keith manages to dodge out of the way, but he does sort of stumble a little bit, and he goes,
Answers now.
"I can see that we've made a mistake in the hiring process. If you want to learn, you'll have to stay for longer." And there we go.
And there we go. Jesus.
I'm reminded. Do you ever watch? Hang on, I'll stop recording.